Hello, comrades. Commissar Bro here today. Still feeling a bit under the weather, so apologies if I sound a bit rough or I breathe too much or anything like that. It's, yeah, again, I'm recovering from food poisoning. So, yes, bear with me if you don't mind. I promise this is just temporary. But anywho, so with my excitement for how well the other after action report has done, I decided to do a second episode. Plus I got it to work because that was basically the problem before, was I couldn't get past what was it, 1920. It just kept crashing by the time it hit November. So it hasn't crashed, and I've managed to successfully get to 1938, whole 18 years later. And I mean, you can see just how much progress has been made just on the map between where we were before, roughly, which I think was about here, and to pushing right outside of the border of France. Now, things were looking pretty good, but it looks like we're probably about to get pushed back again. The enemy forces are relatively weak on the line in terms of their strength and overall organization, but they still outnumber us, and that is the biggest problem that we have fighting the Allied forces, is that they constantly outnumber us, and it doesn't really seem to matter what the situation is. They always seem to have just a few more men than us. And we're gonna bring that down a bit and put that into Lyon. We're trying to hold these territories, and the Allied forces are being particularly aggressive and trying to bring it down. We're gonna take some of these armored cars here, just a couple of them, and we're gonna send them down there. Yeah. Oh, no. We want to send them through here. There we go, to bring in reinforcements. Okay, so you probably want to know what's going on. Well, you know, like I said, we have pushed out. We've started bombing Allied naval forces in the ocean here. Well, in the Mediterranean Sea. We occasionally get some boats. We occasionally do some damage, as you can see. Well, never mind. That's an enemy one. There we go. We occasionally do some damage, but a lot of times our stuff just gets shot down. As you can see here, we lose more than we kill, truly. But honestly, with that many boats, it's all you can really do. And for some reason, our planes don't do a very good job of shooting down the enemy fighters. Why this is, I don't really know. We have them outnumbered. You would think that they could shoot them down pretty good, especially when our mission efficiency is pretty high. Our air detection is higher than the enemy ships, or enemy planes. But I mean, it is what it is. So yeah, I don't really know. Our missions are set to air superiority, but it doesn't really matter. Ultimately, you can kind of see, looking over the past couple of years and the past couple of months, we've lost a good number of fighters and bombers flying over these areas trying to shoot down enemy ships, and we've only shot down a couple of enemy fighters, barely any to really write home about. Now the fight in southern France is a lot more, what's the word I'm looking for? Direct, essentially. Not direct. I can't think of what the word is I'm thinking of right now. But basically, it's a lot... Oh, decisive. That's what it is. It's a lot more decisive. There's been many more fighters and bombers that have been shot down. But, you know, it only keeps track up to 5 years. Truly, probably around 10,000 aircraft have been lost on both sides of the fight of the past 20 years. The predominant number of which are enemy bombers. As you can see, they don't even fly bombers over southern France anymore, which is probably a good thing, because we'll just shoot them down. And yeah, as you can see, apparently still our fighters aren't quite as good as their biplanes, which is mind-boggling to say the least. But whatever, no big deal. Taking a look at southern France, we haven't really established airplanes or in northern France, I mean. We haven't really established any airplanes there yet. That's something that I'm currently in the process of doing, as you can see. Yeah. What do we I guess we're just going to put these Mark II early fighter 4s and send them in en masse. So once again, we are getting into problems with what's the word I'm looking for? With manpower, especially with how many men have been lost on all sides lately. So you're probably wondering, what are the casualty rates looking like? Well, if you look at us, we've actually gone up 1 million casualties in the past 20 years. The Allies, on the other hand, have gone up 34 million casualties. France and the UK bearing the majority of those casualties. France pretty much out of manpower by this point in time. I mean, we can just look at some of these areas and see that their recruitable population has been completely ripped out. Essentially, they've got they've got no troops. The civilian populations have been decreased by upwards of 25% in some places, maybe even higher in other places. Honestly, if you look at how many men we've killed compared to the population of France at that time, being the originally 1914, 20 million, that's literally half the population is currently dead and buried, which is crazy, absolutely crazy. So my only assumption was that they had some serious population growth going on during the time, which kind of helped them out a lot. But again, even we're starting to run out of recruitable population. Our civilian populations are fine, but we are running out of populations to actually recruit for war. We are down to 727,000. Considering we're utilizing 17.10% of our population overall, our entire army is fielded of almost 4 million men. So, you know, it's kind of big. It's not a tiny army by any means of the imagination. But see, like, look, we're definitely winning these engagements. In most places, we tend to win our engagements and win these fights. The biggest problem that I run into is, and honestly, it's kind of risen problem in general, in my opinion, with how, oh fuck, we lost that city. Oh, that's not good. Oh, that's not good at all. Oh, well, we lost, I don't know what the Sueta? Yeah, that's not good. That's the first time I've actually lost a city the whole time I've played this. Anyway, aside from those territories down there that we just stopped focusing on. Yeah, I kind of lost those too, but who cares? Anyway, but basically a problem that I've started to see with how the infrastructure system works in this game is the infrastructure of a whole territory. Say this whole territory, all the infrastructure and the supply lines can be completely destroyed by infantry attacks coming in from here, which makes no sense at all. Like, by any means of the imagination, that doesn't make any sense. And that's something that really irks me. Actually, it irks me beyond all belief, because it's dumb. And I don't know if I've never noticed that before. Like, I've never noticed if that was just this mod, or if that's actually like a thing. Because if that's a thing, that's a really stupid thing, if you know what I mean. Like, because it just doesn't make sense. Like, I get it if it's the airplanes, and you would think that it is, but it can't be when, like, you're literally disrupting so many bombers that it doesn't even matter. But, you know, I mean, hey, what do I know? Oh, these guys are still deploying. Let's deploy a bit faster, buddies. Jesus Christ. So this creates scenarios essentially in this mod, especially, and again, it's only really ever been noticeable to me in this particular mod, is it creates these scenarios where we have to charge and retreat, give up territory that we've gained. So like in this particular instance, my troops are going to fall back. We're going to give up that ground up there, and basically it becomes their territory, and the attrition starts affecting them worse as well, where it stops affecting us as much, making it to where you know, we can not be completely annihilated by attrition, because honestly that's where most of our losses come from. Actually, the past million really of our losses have come to these scenarios where, like, we get such high attrition because the forward battle lines are getting the entirety of their infrastructure destroyed. See, like, in a situation like this, I get it. It makes perfect sense. With Center being attacked from all sides and pretty much every piece of its territory is being attacked, that makes sense to me. But my understanding, essentially, of the infrastructure would be something like this. If 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, roughly, and you can have up to 10 levels of infrastructure, you would think that that infrastructure would almost apply one level per tiny little province, but it doesn't do that. It applies it over the entire area, so the infrastructure can be destroyed on the front lines, which ultimately makes no sense. So that's kind of a problem that I personally have with Hearts of Iron 4 that I never ever noticed before. I legit never noticed that. I didn't see that as a thing. I didn't realize that was occurring, but it's super fucking annoying. And it makes this game a lot more difficult than it really needs to be, in my opinion. And again, especially like for my high defensive situations and how well I performed in combat, it literally screws me over, and it's something I have no control over, because the destruction is coming so fast that, as you see here, half these areas will never be fixed. Like, you just cannot repair them, no matter how hard you try. You can try to keep them in a relative state, but the repairing can only occur on one area, whereas the destruction can occur on a whole front, which is retarded. That basically, even if you have the factories and the means to repair and keep that stuff up and running, it won't. And you can't keep the infrastructure high, and you can't keep those problems fixed and contained, which is a bummer. But, I mean, hey, I guess that's the price we pay, right? Anywho, I really don't want to lose control of Tours, because that's a bunch of factories we would lose if we lost control of that. But that borders... Basically, these dudes need more men. Actually, well, if we give up Orleans, we still have Tours. But this one has 2 cities. I wonder what that means if it has 2 cities, because I'm unsure what that actually means in the grand scheme of things. We're gonna put him over here to go defend that. But yeah, so some other stuff that's been going on aside from that is I have been trying very hard to like curry the favor of the United States, basically to turn them into fascist, because if they turn fascist, they might want to join the Central Powers, or I could leave my no, I can't. I was kind of hoping I could leave my faction, because, you know, they're doo-doo butter and they suck. But no, it's not gonna let me do that. Like, I can't. Fucking France doesn't even have any manpower, so we're just gonna go straight to harsh treatment and get those utilize all those factories. Give me every little factory I could possibly get, because all their territory is occupied anyway. Limousine. Well, maybe not. Maybe not a good idea. Well, here, what we'll do is we'll actually spread out some of our garrison to some French areas to maintain that front line. But see, the main problem you have to worry about with doing stuff like that, and we're actually going to add Augustine's men to that. Yeah, just redeploy all of them. The thing you want to be kind of concerned about when you do that, though, is especially, like, because I've been controlling a majority of this war, like, by hand, and to ensure that things go the way I want them to go. Let's just give up this side of the river. I don't need that. We don't need that bad attrition that we can't fix. But we are going to cut these guys in half. And send 7 of them that way. Just get them out of that area, because, like, look, that should fix the majority of the attrition problems. Okay, well, it looks like our men don't want to cede that territory. That's what happens when you let AI have control over an area. Retreat, boys. Give him it, give him it, give him it, give him it, give him it. There we go. Alright, we gave him that territory. They can have it. Literally let them have it. Oh, the attrition got worse. Jesus, tap dancing Christ. Alright, let's go put you guys over here too. make you your own army. And I tend to do this a lot. I just make like new armies left and right. We're actually going to reposition them to the left side of the flank and so on. So yeah, anyway, some other stuff that has occurred. There's been several naval invasions that have all been fought off and defeated. We actually became Republican Spain. Somehow communist influence got increased significantly to our country. I don't really know who did that, honestly. I have no earthly idea who increased the communism levels, but thankfully, because again, we were already geared towards a fascist society, that did not do much to hamper us, and in the end, it didn't really matter. So there's some benefits there. Yeah, we've also been building up a fleet. I've basically built up a fleet of submarines to fight against the enemy forces, and we haven't really done much. As you can see here, Extremadura has been our most effective weapon altogether. Honestly, our destroyers have been doing work, and our submarines are total booty. So now that I think about it, I'm actually probably going to swap off the production line and stop producing submarines altogether and just start building 5th tier destroyers and stuff, because they're just infinitely more effective, and that's really what we need right now. Is I need something that can go toe to toe. So basically something along the lines of a destroyer or cruisers, stuff like that, if we're going to be able to effectively hold. And let's press play again and watch what happens. Yeah, see, basically you can pretty much see we're holding our lines. If you look at the enemy casualties, look at that. That is crazy how many casualties they're taking, pushing up against us. Keep in mind, every time that number ticks up, that's 10,000 men. So that's like in a day, these guys are losing like tens of thousands, almost 100,000 soldiers in these fruitless attacks, trying to take over the border there and trying to put pressure on us. But our troops just become so heavily entrenched that it really doesn't matter. And as you can see here, our casualties are really high. But our casualties are really not that high if you look at the relative state of affairs. Now, the problem with this becomes that, sure, we take over these areas, but unfortunately for us, we take over the areas, but it comes with no manpower. But thankfully, we've managed to keep extensive conscription, and we haven't had to go to service by requirement or all adults serve yet, but we are pretty much getting there, which is something I've been trying to avoid like the plague. But again, especially with this attrition the way it is, that's just going to be a reality for us here soon enough. And Jesus Christ. See, that stuff back there is planes. I know that's like planes, like damage in Navarre and whatnot. I don't really know how they're getting through my lines, but it has to be. I don't know what else would be doing it, but I mean, hey, whatever. Actually, you know what? We're gonna start sending airplanes out. 1, 2. We're gonna start sending airplanes to fly over the Bay of Biscay and shoot down any fighters or bombers that we may or may not find floating over there like dirty little bungholes. Come on now. Come on. Come on. There we go. Yeah, see, they're going to fly over the Bay of Biscay and keep that covered and protected. Pretty much, I want to keep every territory I can visibly see all clear and steady. We'll go ahead and get Weapons 5 as well. Every time I fully equip my army with these next generation of weapons, the next generation after that comes out. So, like, if you look here under infantry, I've basically finally got, well, not even that. I've equipped to about 250,000. So we still have 50,000 more to equip, which, oh shit, that's not good. Nope, just attack. Not good. Not good. Well, you guys have a mission now. Under Field Marshal Augustine with his terrible skill level. React to this, cover the defenses, and take back that port, you bastards. Literally, just go straight into the port. Take the port, as long as they can't see, look, just another failed invasion. We just have to react quickly. See, as you can see, I've gotten better about catching stuff myself as opposed to how I used to be in terms of just sometimes letting stuff like that through because I just missed it. Get on that border there. We actually might want to put his orders as well to defend this coastline. Yeah, there we go. Keep the coastline defended and ensure that no more enemy people come in. Look at that. That was a good bombing there. We got a lot of ships bombed. We're using tactical bombers. I know you're supposed to use naval bombers, but as you can see, I'm still building those, which have air missions that are not assigned. Where are you guys? I don't... Oh, there they are. Alright, so that's where they are. I guess we could fly them over the Western Mediterranean. I don't see why not. And you can hear my dogs barking, probably. Let's just ignore them. But anyway, so yeah, I mean, I could continue playing this, but I think I like doing it more in the early or the after action reports. So yeah, as you can see, this is pretty much where the situation is, where the casualties are, and so on and so forth. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you're enjoying this little series here as much as I'm enjoying playing it. We will get back to the Rise of Djibouti and stuff like that here very soon, once I don't feel like death. So yeah, that'll be a thing. Anywho, this has been Commissar Bro. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.